Just forget the parade, and all the reasons start to fade. Just forget the parade, and all the reasons start to fade.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Reasons, the show where you can give your reasons why you think what you feel about what we're talking about today. We should know this, man. We say no.
Dear brother, how do y'all deal with erectile dysfunction when you're in a relationship?
I wouldn't know how to do it unless I had it. And remember, if they're talking about you behind your back, they behind you for a reason. Peace. I love y'all.
The reasons that we're here.
2. It's showing. Yeah, there we are. Oh shit, I'm looking crazy.
Hey, hey y'all. Do the intro, man.
I don't know what I did, y'all. It's been a minute. We thank you very much. Welcome back. Are we behind on the social media? Are we behind?
Are we?
I don't know. I think so. Anywho, I think I got everything mixed up around here.
That man got everything going on. You gonna introduce us?
Yeah, we behind? Ah, there we go.
No, you ain't behind.
I think so. What's up, y'all? Welcome to Reasons. We appreciate you guys tapping in. It's your boy Fuel in the house.
That boy in the building, you already know what type of time we on. We here.
That's what's up, man. We got a great show for you guys today. We appreciate you guys that's just tapping in and realizing that we're back. Yeah, we're back for good. So every Thursday at 6 p.m., tap in, tell everybody, tell your friends. We got some great topics going on today, especially for the day. Oh, my God. You know, it's been a while, so he might not want me to say nothing, but, you know, Fat Boy been going through some stuff, so we got some stuff to talk about. But we'll do that later.
Hey, you know we back when Fuel throw me under the bus, right? You officially know that we back once I go. Right?
That's crazy. Man. That's what's up. So, you know what? Should I try this intro again? Something right?
Try the intro one more time.
I don't know if I'll try this intro again, you guys, because we already late. No, I'm not going to try it. We'll just try it on the outro and see what happens. How y'all doing out there? We appreciate you guys. Tap in the chat over there. Let us know you're here. I see Moms is in the house. What's up, Moms?
What's up, Moms?
Share, guys. We're at a whole little different program going on right now. So bear with us, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of buttons and stuff like here we got to push here in the studio. Y'all know we're in a new place and everything. So I appreciate you guys tapping in and coming and joining us today. Our first topic, I guess we're going to get right into it because the topic of the day, if you guys haven't seen the title there, it's called The Healing Process. The most common ways of dealing with breakups with Mel. Should I put that in there?
I don't think the Mel. Did you put with Mel?
I didn't say with Mel.
That's fine. We're talking about men.
We're talking about the men.
We're talking about men on this.
We're talking about the men. So the most common ways of dealing with breakups.
Sorry, y'all. I'm sending out the show there.
Also, we have what we got for History of Blackness.
We're doing Hill Harper today, man. I'm excited about Hill Harper. Man.
Yeah. So we got Hill Harper. We're talking about him. What else we got, man?
You got all the
I don't even know what I put in the phone. It's been one of those.
things, man. Honestly, I didn't figure out what's going on over there, man. I truly miss y'all. I don't know. I can't see my comments over here. I don't know what's going on with that.
Oh, you can't see the comments?
I can't see no comments.
Can you see it on my end? Can you see it now?
I can't see anything.
No, sir?
No.
Oh, we got to fix that.
Yeah, we're going to fix that too. Whatever. Hold on. Let me see.
Where's Blacklist? We're coming next week. He should be coming next week.
Yeah. Blacklist will be here next week.
Yeah.
We gonna make sure the Fuel's gonna make sure we're gonna make sure he's here. I promise y'all that.
Yes, he'll be here next week. Well, let's get into it.
Yeah. Let's talk about some hot topics though, man. I definitely want to. We late, of course, because we've been gone. We've been on hiatus. I definitely want to kind of touch on a few topics, right? I want to touch on. Of course, we got to touch on the Kendrick and Drake. And just what that did for the West Coast, what it did for hip hop, what it did for Drake, what it did for careers. And then I kind of want to touch what you were talking about, just the presidential candidacy, right? I think that's just crazy right now. Or the presidential election. So,
which
and to understand the candidates involved in that election. So I want to touch on that. Oh well, yeah, the two. That's
which is literally really I think is. Do we want to go into that right now? Just get it out the way.
Let's go ahead and jump into that.
Let's go ahead and get into it out the way. All right. And we're not asking. I'm not asking on who you voting or judging who you vote for. We don't judge here. You vote for who you want to. I'm calling this just my 2 cents.
Come on now.
Just my 2 cents.
Talk to him.
And my 2 cents is just being for someone to at least have common sense. That basically is not after their own rhetoric as to being the leader of this country. Basically by I might be wrong. But the way I see it, with my 2 cents, is that basically Trump goes in where everything benefits him, where he can get himself immunity for this and that, or whatever the case may be. So I don't know. It's really hard to say because, like I said, record-wise or whatever the case may be, we have the arguments of what one president has done and what the other hasn't done, type of thing, or whatever, to the point where I can't get too deep unless I start pulling up facts. You know what I'm saying? When I start pulling up facts or whatever, as opposed to what I see on CNN or Fox News and all that. You know what I'm saying? Because you have one news broadcast that says, that's for the vice president, and then you have the other one that's for Trump. You know what I mean? So, it's kind of like, which one you go by, or who you support the most, or whatever the case may be in that. So, I say just vote, with clear state of mind of having someone that has common sense, and that's basically, and if Trump did something for you at the time that he was president, I understand that. Go for it. That's you. That's, what I'm saying? Because your lifestyle is not my lifestyle. My property is maybe not your property. You know what I'm saying? It's not, everything is different. People is raised up differently in this world. Will I rather see it work most for us or for the middle class? Yes, of course. You know what I'm saying? But if you're in the middle class and it still worked for you or whatever, and you think that, hey, this is the man for me or whatever, go do your thing. Do your thing. But just opinion-wise for me, just the way he talks, just the way, his whole attitude, just the way of the February 6th, was it February 6th? What was it? What was the inauguration? The 6th, January 6th, right?
January 6th, something like that.
Yeah. It's January. It was January. Yeah. But anyway, even with all that said and done or whatever, you know what I'm saying, it says a lot about a man, period. You know what I'm saying, for the most part. So I basically say vote for each his own. What do you say, dog? I don't.
First and foremost, use your vote, right? I definitely want to encourage everybody to get out there and vote. Mm-hmm. But I want you to kind of, similar to piggyback on what Phil was talking about, I want you to kind of get you some knowledge, man, and see the agenda on both sides and pick the best for, not just for you, man, for the country. Because I think that what happens is we start to vote for our own interests, and our interest is subjective to the time that we're in, right? And I think that sometimes we have to think about the benefit of all people, because if we begin to think about the benefit of all people, the country as a whole will grow. Mm-hmm. When you're dealing with people like Trump, who's, one of his main things is get away diversion and inclusion. Mm-hmm. That's just not good for the economy, right? Mm-hmm. I think that we need to take this election as a lesson, or use this as a lesson, as a benchmarker, that we really all need to start being more involved in who they're putting in front of our faces, right? And if they can change in mid election, they can change candidates, then we can make them pull down the candidates and get us a proper candidate too now. So now that we know that, right? So this is a precedent, right? What we've seen. I think that for the most part, I'm not going to tell you who to vote for. I just think that just use the best vote for the country. I think that the problem with us all is we've been so selfish with our vote, and it's been showing. Because no matter if you're a man against abortion and you go against a woman's right, I'm pretty sure 6 months later they're gonna be going at your rights. Right. So I think that we all need to start beginning to stand on a united front for human rights and things that we can do as a country, as Americans, and then go to the personal things, far as taxes and things like that, right? And social mobility and things like that. But I think that if we create diversion and inclusion, if we start to vote better, right, or with that in mind, I think we won't have the issues that we have now. So just go get out there and vote. Make sure y'all get out there and vote. If you vote for Cornel West, man, I'm for real. Go get out there and exercise your vote, man. A lot of people die so you can have a vote, and that's real.
Right.
So make sure you exercise your vote. Real talk.
Yeah. I almost had something else to piggyback on that too as well.
I can't see no comments.
You can't?
I'm tripping over here. Go ahead, because you were saying something.
It's hard to really get into this without being controversial. When it comes to certain for what's going on in our country. Because either way, this is just the choices we have. That's to me is the worst. These are the choices we have. Yes, would I like to see a sister, running the country, doing their thing and stuff like that, proving, a lot of people wrong and stuff like, yeah, of course. Is that person the right person? For sure. It still remains to be seen. It remains to be seen. But because you have so much, more power than you had when you was a senator. You have more power than you had when you was a vice president. You have more, you know what I'm saying? So maybe it could make a difference. We'll see, But anywho, with all that said and done, let's get into something else because
we're going to go on that. I kept it short.
Yeah, dog, you kept it short. Today. What's the name? I don't know my buttons no more.
You look at you.
I don't know my buttons no more. That one.
Blue.
That's it. But anyway, all right, man. So let's get into the main topic.
Let's get into these topics, brother.
The healing process, the most common ways of dealing with a breakup.
You want to share some?
No.
You want to share some at all? I think the most common one we could probably leave. I think the most toxic one we could throw out there.
Mm-hmm.
As my therapist said, the flesh is weak. Serial killers.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to them.
Mm-hmm.
We've all been one.
Mm-hmm. You just told me to start off.
Yeah, no. I'm just
Before we go real quick, Moms did say we can't be complacent and forget that this is about the next generation and all of our rights as citizens.
I agree.
And I do. And I think that's one of the things that I don't agree with is anyone that's trying to strip our rights. You know what I'm saying? That's trying to strip any male rights, any female rights, any black rights, even, you know what I'm saying? Period. You know what I mean? So that, yes, we definitely, try to need to look out for our next generation because it is about them as mostly, anyway, we've been through the shit. We already going through the shit. You know what I'm saying?
Fact.
So just think of how worse it could be if we don't vote right. You know what I'm saying? And get those 18-year-olds and younger ones to vote too, because this is their futures.
This is definitely our future.
You know what I mean? So, so that part. But anyway,
go ahead.
Back into the healing process.
Come on.
Okay. There is, one of the most common ways as a male
I think your relationship period. I'm saying
when
we're talking about men.
But I'm saying one of the most common ways as a male healing process when it comes to breakup is moving on to someone else.
Mm.
That's what quickly. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like they're trying to get over it, so they'll mess with whoever else. Now, women does it too, but they maybe do it a little bit. Takes longer. The healing process may have to take. Might be wrong. We're gonna look at shit.
We're not gonna do that. Right? Because you know. Right. Listening to this. This is all around radio. I'm telling you, you're actively listening.
So, and I'm going to speak for myself. The relationships that I've been in, and if I basically had to heal or whatever, within that relationship, after that relationship, I, try to take my mind off that person and, fulfill it with someone else. But when my heart is still really with that person, it's still, how can I put it? It doesn't help the person that you're with. You know what I mean? It doesn't help the person that you're with if you're still healing about your past and through someone else or whatever, because that person doesn't have a clue of maybe what you're going through, what you're trying to heal from or whatever, unless you actually open conversation with that person or whatever. I think is the best way that you can heal from it. But with us as men, we just kind of like try to move on and mess with, whoever or talk to whoever, and not to say it has to be in a relationship with that person or whatever, but, you'll do something whether it's going out to dinner, having conversation with them, or even having sex, I ain't gonna lie, most men try to have sex to forget whoever. Yeah, most men do, Don't judge me, y'all, because I ain't say me. I said most men. But with that said, it's hard to get over somebody that you really, 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 truly loved. And that's I've been through those situations where I actually really, really, truly loved them, but it didn't work out the way I wanted to. But one of the other ways I use to heal that is to keep an open mind and still be friends with that person. Now, that's not the case with everyone. Everyone can't do it because of however you broke up or whatever. If it was hurtful things and disrespect between each other and stuff like that, it's not going to work like that. But if we, let's say, for instance, with my relationships that I've had, if we break up, it was because, we were going different directions. My ideal wasn't her ideal. You know what I mean? And we figured it out, as time went on. For example, I was with a young lady. I was with her for 5 years. And I don't know if I told y'all this story before, but I was with her for 5 years. Everything was hunky-dory cool. I'm building my brand. I'm doing my thing or whatever. And we have, have a nice little condo, driving nice cars. We good. You know what I mean? But then she threw this monkey wrench in, She, and at the very beginning, I'm the type of person that basically will have a conversation about what I want in my relationship at the very beginning, or what I'm thinking and what I'm looking for in a relationship, And if you agree to that, what I'm saying, that's one thing. But then as time goes on and then you flip on it, that's another thing, right? So in this instance, the person that I was with wanted, kids, after 5 years or whatever. I respect that. Because, she didn't have any kids. So I respect that or whatever because, at the very beginning, kids wasn't even a conversation anymore because we already
right. So with that said, or whatever, I just kind of
right. So with this is what this person wants, and if we do it in these terms in this way or whatever the case would be, I'm trying to have this conversation with this person to make sure, what I'm saying, that we're on the same page. If I want to have kids, I want to do it right this time. I want to do, this and I want to do that or whatever, and I'll place what I want it. Now, that particular person, they did not want it that way. I respect that. It was hurtful. It was very hurtful after the things that we went through, the things that we built or whatever, and then all of a sudden we both at opposite ends, to the point where, of course, we broke up, because I wasn't going to have a kid, without, being married to the young lady or that type of thing. I had my ways of really wanting to have it if I'm going to do it. At least I was open enough to still do it, right? Because we had been together for so long and I didn't love that person. So, anywho, with that said, even though we broke up, because of our love for each other was really true or whatever, and we was able to break up not like it was like a good thing. we broke up or whatever. She's still, a friend. I can still talk to her. She can still come and talk to me, and I have no grudges or anything like that. So sometimes I think the healing is most determined on how you break up. You know what I'm saying, and how traumatic it was for you to go through that breakup. So just as an example, I hope everybody got that. That's an example of what I feel when it comes to trying to heal or the healing process of males, in certain situations. Because it all depends on the situation to me. Mm-hmm. What do you think?
Oh man, you said I agree with a lot of things that you said. I definitely think I actually pulled up some facts over here too, so we're gonna get to that after we do this. Mm-hmm. But I actually think that I'm definitely piggybacking off what you were saying that about how men primarily we do two things. We either shut down from the world or we sleep with a bunch of random women. And being that I'm going through a healing process, I figure I'll let you guys in on a little bit of my experience in the healing process. I think that in the beginning, right? That's crazy. In the beginning, I drank, right? I smoked. But because of therapy,
you always drink and smoke. What are you talking about?
Yeah, no, for real. No, but I tried to. Great point, right? I always drank and smoked, but since I've been doing therapy, I've been so much more cognitive of my emotions. I couldn't numb the pain, right? I couldn't take my mind off of mistakes, quote unquote, made or regrets or certain things because I'm aware of my behavior now. I'm aware of my temperament. I'm aware of a certain thing. So it was, I would say, challenging. Where was I going? Because I was going somewhere.
Where you saying the drinking and
so I'm drinking and smoking, but that didn't work. And I would say the same thing happened towards because this is almost 8-9 months. In the beginning, I began to do women. Do women is crazy, but try to engulf myself in women. And my therapist is so cold with it in the sense, there we go. My therapist is so cold with it in the sense of that she always asks a question to make me realize the stupid shit that I'm doing. I could put it to y'all like that. So, for instance, today's topic, was originally about the breakup, right, and which is going to come. But she necessarily asked me a sense of what are your concerns, right, about the relationship? I mean, what are your concerns about delivering this content to your audience?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, damn, I had never thought about that,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I still have to say, once I became cognitive, it wasn't enough sex, wasn't enough weed, wasn't enough liquor that could help me,
Right.
right, process everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned in my healing process, what I needed was the opposite of that, right? Was I needed to not necessarily isolate, but I needed to become closer to myself, right? So towards the beginning, I started fasting. I started reading the Bible. This is before I even went to church. I started reading the Bible, getting closer to God. I started getting down on my knees praying. You know what I'm saying? Just because I dealt with so much regret, I had a great support system, and I was able to call and cry out a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
But I said to say, when you mindful of a lot of things, those certain coping mechanisms don't necessarily work the same,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you also know that when you made a great point, when I'm dealing with others, that I'm not only bringing my baggage from the last relationship,
right,
but then I'm also soul ties, right? I'm creating soul ties in the process, right? And I'm steamrolling people like I was steamrolled.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and once you start to become cognitive of that,
that's a good question though. Is that one way that guys is that one way that guys actually heal is by doing just that, what you just said, kind of steamrolling.
I don't think you ever officially heal,
mm-hmm.
right? With that mindset, because I think that where I'm at now and processing my accountability in a relationship is what is making me heal.
Mm-hmm.
Like processing my emotions from that accountability is making me heal, right?
I don't say that part again.
Processing my emotions discovered from that accountability, right? So when I say that, I'm regretful because of this. I'm regretful because I wasn't properly taught how to be a boyfriend, right? But I'm also regretful because she didn't see me in a certain light, right? And so I'm once I'm dealing with these accountabilities, I'm becoming more closer to myself, right? Because I'm having to deal with real time, real emotions on how I am feeling, why I'm hurting. Is it pride? Is it ego? Is my feelings hurt? Is it frustration? Is it sadness? Is it regret? Is it abandonment? Is it an attachment issue? Right? Once I start to label these things, now I know I can't do that. Mm-hmm. But when I'm just steamrolling and I'm just having sex with women, I'm not processing none of that shit. Right. And along the way, I'm ruining women, mm-hmm. right? Or I'm ruining women, mm-hmm. and I'm ruining myself, right, more than anything. Right. I'm ruining myself because I'm not giving myself the time to properly grieve and heal, mm-hmm. from that, right? Because you never all the way heal. You constantly are healing. Mm-hmm. Right, and that's just something we learned, we discovered, we talked about today in therapy. It's just you always healing, and I think that with men, until we start to encourage healthy healing, I think that it will continue to be a trend where men begin to sleep with random women to curb their emotions, or to get over a breakup.
Do you actually, because of you going to therapy for everything, do you feel the progress? Do you feel or do you see the goal line of getting over that situation without saying that something can what's up Gus? Without saying that something can set you back. And I want to say by example, say for instance, you're going through this process, you're getting over it, and this is for me too, with even with my past, person that I was in love with or whatever. That person comes back around, and you start seeing or thinking of the good things that could possibly happen with that person doing it in a different way. Is that will that? You know what I'm saying? Uh, time that you're going through therapy process eliminates that from happening
No.
in your mind to do again. You feel what I'm saying? You hear what I'm
To eliminate the process of what happened.
saying? Going back,
Of going back into the relationship.
going back into a certain person that you may have been in love with, and maybe think. And I might be answering my own question when I say no, I ain't going back unless that person recognized what they did or whatever and was coming to me in a different way. But I'm saying, even I'm asking you, you know what I'm saying? Do you think, are you that far along in therapy right now to where, you don't want to go back or you won't go back, you know what I'm saying? Because you're now looking forward to whatever you need in the future.
We just talked about that. It's crazy. We just talked about that today. She essentially, because you know about the phone call I have.
Yeah.
So I gotta give context to this. So the phone call happens. I get a phone call from my ex like a week ago.
It's about a week, yeah.
About a week or so, and I basically gave her the floor to tell her side of the horrible man that I was to her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, right, So you hear so many things about the story. When she called, because I thought, one, I didn't have an understanding of the healing process.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that I was healed.
Right.
I thought I had healed from the last situation.
That you had a hold.
I had more hold on it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
when the situation happened, I was devastated. And I began to think about what ifs. And not what if the relationship, what if I did right, not going back, but what if I did right when I did wrong, right?
Mm.
And I got caught up into that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really messed up about it.
Mm-hmm.
People wouldn't be able to tell outside because I was really messed up in the funk about it.
Mm-hmm.
But today, my therapist, being as awesome as she is, she asked a great question. Because as I come back, as I go through this process, this healing process, I'm also processing these emotions.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also processing the things she said that I knew were true, that had some validity to it.
Right.
The things she said that I knew had no validity to it. The things that had some gray area, right? And then I took all of those things, but it did for a moment, I thought set me back, right?
But the conversation
set me back.
Right.
But it did not.
Okay.
It pushed me forward.
Oh, okay.
Because it gave me a chance to do a few things. It allowed me to gather some perspective from her, right? It allowed me to gather the perspective from her about me, which I can use to refine right things, right? It also allowed me to it also allowed me to gather the knowledge from the emotions felt from that situation.
Yeah, you can help looking up.
Yeah, I'm looking at you because I'm talking to you. But I'm talking to y'all. But the knowledge gained from that situation. And then also the feelings that comes from that. You feel what I'm saying? So I think that if I wasn't cognitive and able to process a lot of the things and the therapy wasn't working, I would say it was a setback. But then I immediately realized, like, hold on, I'm feeling this because of this. I'm feeling this because of this. Or I'm feeling this because of shame. I'm feeling this because of this. But then she asked a great question. Would you be where you are today if you were to still remain in that situation?
With her.
With her. And I think that's a powerful question because that eliminates the regret, right? That eliminates the what if, right? It eliminates the going back because it's like, hold on, let's do this.
What if the conversation went differently from what it went, from the way that it went, though?
The question still remains,
right?
Though. Even if, and I'm glad that it didn't, though, right? Because that would have been less realistic than what I received.
Right.
What I received was authentic, right? It allowed me to feel. It allowed me to go through what I went through, but it also allowed me to process some things, and it also allowed me to be aware that I wouldn't be here, right? I had to go through that. I had to lose my temper at times. I had to learn my worth. It's a lot of things that I had to go through to be the man I am today, right? Without those challenges, without the disappointment, without dealing with the shame, without trying to prove her right at times, trying to prove her wrong at times, right? All of these things is the reason why I'm the man today. Okay. The reason why I'm cognitive of saying, hey, I was able to sit there and allow her to do what she said I never could do, which is talk, right? So I showed my growth in 2 months, right? She's still stuck in her spot. But I already shown growth from where I was because I allowed myself to go through that healing process.
Okay, I get that part.
You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
Everything happens for a reason. At first I regretted it. I regretted it because I didn't know. But the great thing about the lack of knowledge is you seek knowledge. Yeah. And when I got it in my Bible, when I began to read things, and so now I'm coming with a confidence because I have a knowledge now that I've acquired from mistakes.
Fat boy, turn your sound down. It's a bad
It's an echo.
Really? Really?
Is it on me?
I don't know.
It's probably
on your phone. Oh, you got your phone on. Oh, okay.
Well, appreciate you coming in.
Can you hear me?
That's what's up, Nick. I appreciate you coming in. But she's also said, the answer is hell no. I should be in a better position because you no longer have it to deal with frustration. Black hole bank accounts. What does that mean part? What does that part mean? Black hole bank account. Peace. I don't know what that part meant. She said you go up first. Oh, she said echo.
I got an echo. I probably was talking too far away. How about now? How I sound now?
You sound better when you came up. Yeah.
That's my fault.
I probably saw that.
I got you.
Yeah, how do you sound? I hope everything's
there it is. How I sound, Nick?
So what do you think about the comment that what she just said? You see it right there, don't you? The answer is hell no. You should be in a better position because you no longer have
I agree, but if you in love, man, attachment is real, y'all. I think that we be speaking outside of ourselves a lot, right? I think that we put on this false strength, right? Attachments are real. Emotions are real. That's why women go back after being battered, or men go back after being cheated on, or women go back after. Emotion and attachment is real, people, and it's so easy to say I'll be like deuces, but you haven't been in that relationship, right? You know what I'm saying? And so I agree, essentially, right?
What part is when we fool ourselves? Because sometimes we fool ourselves into thinking that it's not over. No. But sometimes we fool ourselves into thinking that it's over, but it's not.
Attachment, though. That's what I mean. Attachments are real, right? If you have a connection to this person that you were in love with, you were building with, it's not as easy as. Now you have people who can do that. but those people also lying and they be going home crying. I'm just gonna be more transparent about the nights that I cried than other people, right? And I'm just not gonna say it's not easy when you're trying to grow through something. Right? It's a process. You're not just going to get over it and throw it all away. So essentially, yes. But it's easy.
I like that term, just grow through something. As opposed to getting over.
Yeah, you got to
grow through it.
Yeah, you got to go through it.
Yes.
Because
you can get over it and not grow.
You can say, I'll leave today, but that person could call you and bring up an emotion of love and compassion that you miss so much and hook you back in and you back looking crazy. It's because that attachment is so real. And we can say what we will and we can say what we won't do until we're in a situation. So I think that we have to start to be more, once again, mindful and cognitive of just how attachments and how love really grab a hold of you, man, when you really in there and when you really
really in there,
right? When you're really trying to do something, it takes its toll.
And it's hard for the outside to understand.
Absolutely.
We can't understand what actually, like, what you've gone through. Like, I may have seen, for instance, for us, but we close, we've been talking, we like this. So we have our conversations to the point where even though the conversations I've had with you about the relationship and the conversation we've had about relationships itself, doesn't really determine what you do in that relationship. You know what I mean? It basically, because we can talk about this shit. I can say, no, she ain't no good. I can say, dog, y'all need to do this or y'all need to talk about that. But it's still conversation that y'all have. It's the emotion you have within that person that's not going to, where you're going to have not so much of a deaf ear to what your friends are saying, but you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like your hopefulness for better stays there.
It's always going to be
it
there.
Stays there. Yeah, if you love that person, the hopefulness for them is going to stay there, and until you get in like where the position that you are now, which a lot of people need to recognize and try to maybe avoid or whatever by just your example or whatever, to try to avoid or going through that type of thing or whatever. But then again, on the other side, it's also saying that, you wouldn't be who you are if you didn't go through that.
Absolutely. Experience.
So there's a positive and a negative for.
It's all positive though. Yeah. It's all positive because we're growing. Right? And so it's all tools to get to the next step. And then, like I've been saying, in my preparation of being a husband, there are fine things that I need to tune out. So let's get to this. Let's get to these comments.
Nick was saying,
she said, "Listen, what's love got to do with it? If someone loves you, it shouldn't hurt. Folks stay because of comfort. Folks stay because of afraid to be alone. Folks stay for fear. Stay for fear." I agree. I agree on all those things, and all those things have to do with attachment too, as well. So, and we can't minimize those things, right? Because they're minuscule on your scale, right? I agree with everything you're saying, of course, Dick, but they're minuscule, right? I'm afraid to be alone. That's minuscule on your scale, right? But that could be huge on my scale, right? And so my attachment there is even stronger, right? And that's just what I was saying about being aware of attachment. Like, once again, we throw certain terms or we throw certain things around, and even those things you mentioned carry very, very strong attachments, right? And so it's even those are even harder to break. I agree. I think that, like you said, what's love got to do with it? But when you genuinely care and unconditionally love with someone, love has a lot to do with it, I think. And I think that's a pop culture thing that people have said to make an excuse to not unconditionally love people.
Question: what makes you attached? That's what Nick
Great
said.
question. The time that you spent with them. And then also there's things called attachments. There's types of attachments. So also it's predicated on how you grew up. So on how you were raised, so you may have a different type of attachment, and due to whichever attachment that you have is predicated on the mate that you pick. You know what I'm saying, or the things that you do. So it's easy to be attached to something. If I like you, or if I feel your vibe, and we hang out for more than 3 weeks, I can be attached to you, right? So think about that.
Nick,
they say it takes 17 days to build a habit.
Yeah. Is that what they say? No, I know that. Lance, what's up? LA's in the house. Hey, we got some news coming up too from LA pretty soon, y'all. So keep in touch for that as well. I had a question. You've learned, you've grown, you've and I don't know. Did I ask this question already? Would you go back?
No. You asked that question already.
I did ask that. Maybe I need to say it again.
I gotta look at you. I gotta look at this to look at this. Still tripping. See, that's the trickery for me in here, dude. No, absolutely not. That's a great question because
because sometimes you even when you're healing in the month of the process, you think it's over, but is it over?
Oh shit, that shit to sell, bro. In the sense of that, after I heard what I heard, hey man, Phil, stop this shit.
Okay, all right.
After I heard what I heard, bro, because my therapist said I gotta do this the right way. I gotta do the resolve. So after I heard what I heard, I realized what the real issue was.
Right.
The true issue is that we wouldn't have never really been able to see eye to eye because we've seen things from different perspectives and visions through life. We're at different points and places in our lives, and we've seen things through different lenses.
Can you still be that person's friend?
As of now, I'm not in that emotional capacity.
You can't.
Because I don't really care for her like that. In the sense of, if something
there's a difference with me. There's a difference with me.
If something is happening to her, I don't want anything to happen to her.
Right.
I can't.
There's a difference with me. When I care for somebody, I care for them.
I mean, me too.
And if I no, I'm not in the argument. I'm saying to the point where you know.
I gotta
if you don't want to be my friend, that's fine.
And I don't think she.
But you'll never. I know, right? But you never, will find me with somebody or someone that I have been with that I say I can't talk to you. I can't be your friend. I can't do, you know what I'm saying? Because my friendship with them was genuine. You know, even though I've been hurt by people that so-called your friend and who in front of you and all that and then talk shit behind your back and and all that type of stuff or whatever. But unfortunately with me, if I called you a friend, you're going to be a friend. You know what I'm saying? If something happens or whatever and I need to be there for you, I'm going to be there for you. I'm not going to say, oh, nigga, you ain't my friend no more. Fuck that. I ain't going to, I mean, one of my best friends I grew up with or whatever. To this day, I ain't talked to him since 2019. But if that nigga was to call me right now and say, Phil, dude, I need you, I'm going to do it. Although I'm going to be like a punk ass motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go on some bullshit. But, you know what I'm saying? And that's just me, though. That's just me because I genuinely say that I'm cool with you, whatever the case would be. It's not a fucking temporarily a stamp. It's not a temporary stamp. It's real shit. You know what I'm saying?
I get what you mean by that.
But I don't get that.
In a situation that we in or that we were in, certain shit gotta be. I like I say, I don't wish no harm on her. Or like you say, if they call me and she need, I ain't gonna be an asshole about it. But I gotta build healthy boundaries for myself in the sense of I don't want that kind of energy around me either.
Right.
Until certain things and certain accountabilities is brought about on both sides, and we can really sit down and have a real logical conversation instead of butting heads.
But that's it's
no love lost. It's just better not trying to do that.
Let's take an example though. If you're able to sit down with somebody like that or whatever,
well, we did,
and they bump heads.
We did,
in which I bumped heads.
I didn't bump heads because I'm
Are you talking about sister?
No, I'm saying even that I allowed her to be the aggressor, right? I'm not being the aggressor. I allowed her to speak.
But she was the aggressor.
But I'm not bumping heads anymore because guess what I learned in the midst of that conversation?
What's that?
I don't have anything to prove to anybody.
Right.
My mistakes is my mistakes, and I've grown from them. Mm-hmm. Right? I'm not going to let anybody or allow anyone to make me continue to relive a mistake and make me live the mistake.
Right.
Right? Being accountable for the mistake is one thing. Changing from the mistake is another thing. Right? But living and staying that person you want me to be because that mistake, no, I'm just not that guy. Yeah. Right? And I'm not falling under a false ideology because I Ralph Emerson this shit in the sense of my actions spoke so loud you didn't hear a word that I was saying. So I understand that as well, and I'm accountable for that. So I know until that you're in a healthy space and until I have the true emotional capacity to continue to take the beating that you probably going to dish out because you in your space as well.
Gotcha.
So it ain't no hard feelings. I really don't have no hard feelings in the sense of anger or anything. That is just more healthy for me and for my headspace to not necessarily pursue the friendship.
Gotcha.
Right now.
What's up,
I'm
Denise?
cool with it later on. I'm cool with it down the road, but I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm in a good space.
Got you. Or let's go to this with Lance. Lance said may have been caught up in the trickery and ulterior motives. Fake love is real now. You got to get unstuck.
I agree. Well, fake
love is real. You got to get unstuck.
I think lust. I think lust.
Lust is real.
I think lust is real. I think because if it's fake, it ain't love, y'all. I think that we throw the word love around.
Yeah. I think a lot of people. A lot of people use that word too quickly to how can I say? I don't know if it's to confirm something in the relationship. You know what I mean? Even though, because it's kind of like, you're telling me you love me because you just, it's supposed to be just about us or whatever. But is it real love? Like, do your emotions, do your actions show the love that you're seeing, that you're using, the words that you're using? Because everybody, even friends, hey, I love you, dog. I love you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, But let me tell you something. I got my homeboys. Yeah, we just had a guys trip, man, and my homeboys, dude, nigga, I would die for them niggas. Niggas like you, I would die for you. You know what I'm saying? So my love for it is real shit. You know what I'm saying? Not to the point where, like you said, it's trickery or fake love or anything like that. But I've been there, living here in LA, around motherfuckers with fake love.
But they ain't love, they just fake.
Exactly.
That's all. Ain't no love with it.
Yeah, that's what you gotta get when say fake love is real. I disagree because it's not real. It's not love. If it's fake, yeah.
I can pretend. Mm-hmm. I can pretend I fuck with you. I mess with you on a certain level, but I think you can start to spot those kind of people because the people that love you gonna be there when you ain't got nothing.
Yeah,
that's what I learned.
Nick says, in order to grow together, you have to have a common goals, common methods, common likes. Yeah, definitely. A common future. You gotta have a common future. What your future is going to be, because in order to get to that, your goals have to be the same. So your future, say for instance, if your future is to retire and travel the world, you know what I'm saying? You both have to be the goals doing, you have to be making those actions as to going towards that future. I don't care if it's putting money aside, you know what I'm saying, or whatever the case may be, you got to be working towards that. If your future is, I've had relationships, long distance wise. If our future is not to come together at some point, what do we have? What do you have? Because from one example from what you've done, your significant other or your ex was far You're from the studio, right?
Hey,
He was far from the studio, you guys, to the point where we had to do, and we had to do Skype and shit like that or whatever because he was that far and working his ass off. I mean, so I know, of course, the backstory of what you went through. But I'm not gonna take it there all the way.
Hey,
But
bro.
no. I promise I'm not gonna go that far. I'm not, but I'm saying that is ideal of the relationship, of having a relationship for one willing to go that.
That's love, though.
Exactly.
If you love
Exactly.
to prove, that's love.
Exactly.
Word
That's
up.
what I was getting at. Yeah. I wasn't going to
But you know what I realized though?
Mhm.
That shit made a man out of me, though, Phil. It was a huge sacrifice, but that's what being the man of the house is all about, right? Is making the sacrifice, and understanding that.
I hope that's answering your question, Nick.
That is all on. It's on you. You just need a certain teammate. When I look back on a lot of that stuff, bro,
I just hit.
It was the best on the job training a man could have. Because it is the reason why I want a wife today. Because here we go. The attention to detail that I placed on loving this woman was at a very high level. And I had never loved any woman like that before.
Right.
But it was something beautiful about that. Because it made a better man out of you.
Exactly.
And it also made me fall in love with the process of making a woman fall in love. Right? And stay there, or try to make her stay there. It made me learn the true honor of what a relationship is, what a teammate is, right? It was so many things it was more positives than negatives. Really. It's just the negatives at times outweighs the positives. But I took so much from it because, bro, you know me prior to that, I had never took any woman really serious, really prior to that.
Right.
And I was doing myself a disservice because of that.
Right.
Because I wasn't focused on my purpose, right? And I think that doing those sacrifices, jumping out the window with no clue, made me become here, right? I jumped to therapy essentially because she said, knowing I had some issues, right? And then it was to combat her. But then it just turns out to be the greatest thing in my life. It's helping me be a better father.
Did you? And I mean, kind of let me know. Correct me. Was you in therapy before the relationship or after?
I got into therapy like
after
a year into the relationship.
A year into the relationship.
Yeah, because here you go, Phil. I'm gonna tell you why I'm not into therapy.
Okay,
she was saying it, but.
Who was saying it?
She was saying, like, I think you need to go there. I think
oh, shit. Oh, we gotta go somewhere else. All right, you sure you want to go there, man?
Hold on. We're gonna talk all this today. But let me tell you this, though. Yeah. This is why sometimes it's okay to take heed to some shit. Because she kept saying it, and I got tired of it. But then I also got tired of her bothering me emotionally when she said it. And I just was like, I don't go to therapy. I ain't scared of no damn therapy. And when I went into therapy, it was not what I expected. Right? I just thought I was going to go in there and it was going to be this. It was going to lay on the couch and she was going to talk about my feelings. And it was
that a crutch of, do you think she used that as a crutch of control?
All of it was a form of manipulation, Phil. We're not going down this road. I don't know. No, I'm gonna take that back, bro. I'm not gonna throw her under the. I'm not.
We're not throwing nobody under the bus. But still, we're talking about in a relationship and how people can be.
I think that this is the thing. I think that genuinely, she felt
like she was helping you,
like she was helping me. That's the best way to put it, King.
or
She genuinely that
did she perceive to act like she was helping you? Hindsight.
I think because the suggestion of the therapy was,
I mean,
it was valid though.
For you,
it was valid in the sense of, yes, he was using it to manipulate things at times,
right?
To press her, to get her point across.
Mm-hmm.
But it was valid in the sense of I needed tools to properly articulate myself.
Mm-hmm.
And because I took it as you took it, I entered therapy the wrong way.
Mm. Okay.
I was supposed to be going in there to get tools.
Right.
Properly articulate myself when she came and triggered me.
Right.
I was supposed to be able to recognize the triggers,
right.
process the triggers, acknowledge the triggers, grow through the triggers, exactly. And respond to triggers.
Right.
That triggers.
Yeah.
But because I was looking at it, well, she's just manipulating me to get what she wants.
Right.
I took my power and gave it to her.
Woo-wee. All right.
That's what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What I began to do is now I took my power back from her. Mm-hmm. Right? So a lot of times you put a lot of heart, you put a blame on yourself. Nah, I don't. I just take accountability for my actions. Mm-hmm. And on the phone, on this conversation, I seen a person that took no accountability for their actions, and I seen the anger within that. Right? I seen the sadness, the frustration, the regret that comes with thinking that you did nothing wrong.
Right.
And so all I do is say what I did wrong. All I do is preach about what I did wrong. Mm-hmm. You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I said that to say, y'all, yes, manipulation, but it was validity. And this is what I love about therapy.
But sometimes
because without her suggesting therapy, one of the greatest things I learned in therapy is that if there's information and knowledge in everything,
just like
even with what she was saying,
but just like Nick was saying, there was a reason for the season.
There's a reason for the season,
and that was the reason, for that particular season for you.
Yeah, for sure,
not for you guys.
I agree.
Because her intentions wasn't more for both of you guys. It was more for you. After all said and done.
I agree.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. So,
first of all, I want to thank her.
Shout out to her. No, for real.
Shout out to her because you know what I'm saying. Whether she knows it or not, she made you a better person by not even having to and how some people like they come at you or whatever like you this wrong person, you just this and that. No, you might have fucked me up mentally as far as what's the name in my emotions or whatever, but you don't understand. Even outside of that, I'm a better man.
Definitely boss me up.
Exactly.
Oh, definitely boss me up.
Oh yeah.
Look out. Hey, ladies, I am a whole different animal out here now. Okay? That's a whole nother level.
He said animal.
A whole nother level of confidence, but a different agenda.
Read that what Gussie said. She had a long one there.
Go ahead. You got to click on it. Oh. I can't see it because it's the thing like it says. So when you step into the next relationship, all your past relationships have and will prepare you for the best relationship. And the way you in love is just for me. I know when I'm in love because God's going to identify before I do. And what she say? What's the end? Okay, I'm sorry. Where is it? And he's going to let me know if it's the real love or not. Gussie, I agree. And that's why I've been in soul preparation just for me. I've been getting up, reading my Bible every day, my scriptures, getting closer to God, getting my frame right, getting my financials right, getting my mental right, getting my career right. I'm just really focusing on me, and I do believe that as well because I asked God for her to grow me up. It's the funniest, that's one of the funniest stories, and I'll actually tell that story. I was jokingly talking to God about it was going to take a woman to make me grow up. Mm-hmm. You know it, and I know it. Mm-hmm. And I didn't say woman. Mm-hmm. That's how I know I have a real relationship with God. It's another story. He's such a comedian with me. Like, he funny. The higher power is funny, dude. I'm serious. Like, I was in another woman's car talking the filthiest to God. When I say the filthiest things ran out of this man's mouth. And he sent me, I didn't ask him for a wife. But he sent me exactly what I asked for. Was a woman that made me grow up. She had to be a certain way, or I wasn't going to listen. He literally, I'm not joking about this shit.
No. I feel you exactly how you feel, because I had the same thing that I was just thinking about the other day is, you know, even when I look at the things that I have right now that I've asked God for or whatever, and I was like to myself, like, Lord, do I need to be more specific? Do I need to be more exact? Because you give it to me, but it's not specifically the way I probably wanted it. You know what I'm saying? Say, for instance, the house, the studio, the car, the job, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you got all those things that you pray for, but is it specifically what you want?
You gotta ask specific.
You gotta be specific.
You gotta be specific. No. And I was really clowning, and that's so fun. That's why I say our relationship is real, and that's why I knew once the break, I knew to go to God, because I knew God as center, and I knew our purpose was over. And yeah, because
that's strong right there.
I knew purpose was over because I kept trying, and I kept running into the wall. I wasn't even the man I am today. Like, I could not break through the ceiling. That's why when she asked the question, would you be the man that you are today if that, like, I could not break through the ceiling of emotional intelligence because I was so in my emotions, because I felt she was manipulating me. I felt that she didn't see me. I was so in a spiral that I didn't take the time to use the tools to realize why, to gather the knowledge. And then I began to realize that instead of reacting, pay attention and cultivate her childhood trauma, because that's all it really was. And because I couldn't focus on mine and I couldn't label mine, I couldn't properly understand hers. But I wasn't supposed to. Right. It wasn't the timing. But that's the knowledge gathered from that. And that's why I seen Nick not giving her the credit, but also giving credit where credit is due, because everybody knows Fat Boy. Fat Boy was a hippie prior to, right? I was not the man I was prior to trying to be a good man for this woman, right? I cannot take that away from her. Like, that's the one thing I cannot take. Now, it was God who gave me the ability, because I did not know what I was doing, right? It was God that guided me through the process, but it was God that sent her to me. But it was her being, right, that got me into a certain place, a certain mind frame. Yeah. Right. And so I'm not going to give her the credit, but I'm not going to say she had nothing. She had no doings with.
That's what she just commented. She said, "No, I don't think that no one else but yourself. You grew within. Think about it. Folks can try to take responsibility for making someone a better person."
But I like that.
I didn't see.
I like that, Nick. I see.
What's the rest of it? Did I get it?
I miss you, Nick.
Oh, try to make himself responsible for making someone a better person, but there's nothing after what you say after but, Nick. I guess here it is. But it takes the person, you, the spirit of you, to grow. No one else can give props.
I definitely agree with that. That's my journey. Yeah. That's facts. I agree with that. Wholeheartedly. I will say, so let me say this, because words are powerful. I like that, Nick. Let me retract some stuff. I would say that she definitely was the spark to a lot of things. She was the catalyst to certain things. I had to do the work. Right. I grew through the things, but she propelled me to them faster than I would have, per se, if I wouldn't have been in the situation. Exactly. So I like that. And I think I said that better. Yeah. I think I said absolutely. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. Woo! I agree. That's all it is, really. Yeah. But God sent her. So, you know,
She said
Yeah,
Fat
I
Boy
like that.
found spiritual Fat Boy. Yes.
I know, huh? That's funny.
Nick said, I miss you too, fam.
I know, for real.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Oh, man. Woo.
We didn't even do History of Blackness. We'll do it.
Yeah, we can get it next one.
We'll have a proper rollout.
This was the I don't even know what I want to call this
It's
episode.
a scrimmage episode. I miss y'all, man. I miss
another taste of what you guys got coming for the next shows coming up. And if you guys got suggestions of anything, topics that we need to talk about and cover, hit us up at firethebroadcasting@gmail.com or comment and put in our comments during our live shows. And don't forget to share. Also, as you guys might not know, I got a song coming out. I might as well just put it out like that.
You didn't tell me.
Yeah, I know, right? I got a song coming out, man, and I'm gonna need everyone's support on this song that's coming out with me and my boy in KC, Pretty Boy Lou, and LA. And if you guys don't know LA, Lance Alexander, the guy who produced Low Key, he's it's my brother. So he's basically we did this song, we had fun with, and but it sounds it's a hit. I'm telling you, it's a hit. It's almost something that's gonna. I can't get too much into it until I get all the
I need to hear it.
Yeah. So
y'all
stay tuned for that. Yeah, and look out for the advertising and stuff like that or whatever. Because I just wanted to blow up on the internet. As you guys know, Lance has been a producer most of his life, and for him to come up with a new song and still rocking it after all this time, is amazing. It's amazing. Yeah, I mean he took some stuff that we were just messing around with it, right? We were just messing around with it. Then I went back to Kansas City and whatever, and he was like, "Man, check this out."
Yeah, tell me some respect.
So the hype is real, y'all. The hype is real. Yeah, I'm gonna be more hype, of course, once we start playing and everything. But at least stay tuned for it. That's something that we got coming up to during this season or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I might end up using it for my theme, so I don't know. It's a slow jam though. It's for the two-steppers. Yeah. It's for the two-steppers. So if y'all out there and y'all love two-stepping or whatever, we got another one out of KC coming up.
I want to put something together, man. We really need to put something together. I want to do a live show. We're going to get a lot of that stuff in the works for real this year, y'all. Yeah. If not this year, for sure, the start of next year. Mm-hmm. I really want to get some live stuff going. Dear brothers and dear sisters, y'all. We definitely got to do the dear brothers and dear sisters. Ladies, we need something for y'all. We need y'all on this one. We want some questions, man. We want some hard questions for us. Mm-hmm. Not surface questions. How are we impacting men emotionally, and how can we change it? Or what are the triggers that men go through? Like, I really want you guys to really ask us some questions, and I mean you ladies to ask some questions, and fellas the same for you. I really want y'all to dig in y'all bag on this one and really ask some questions that you want to ask your mate. Right now we're doing the dear brothers because I don't want to be biased on the dear sisters. If you send them in, if you send us some dear sisters, we definitely gonna answer them. But I really want to focus on our women viewers.
Well,
I want to focus on the women viewers and their questions towards the brothers.
Yeah.
I really do and towards the women. I kind of want that balance.
Ideally, what we want to do is doing the dear brothers, dear sisters. We want to be able to bring a young lady or a fella up or whatever on the show doing that segment or whatever to get their inputs, as well as them recording it and sending this to us. You don't have to be the one on the show or whatever to do to give your opinion, but I would like to be able to put someone in the box and say, hey, dear brothers, dear sisters, here's a young lady that's going to answer your question, as well as a guy that will answer your question, that type of thing.
I would
yes.
So we don't have a bias.
Exactly.
I don't want the bias.
Exactly.
That's because I want our lady viewers, our women viewers, to have a safe space as well, to be able to go on this journey that we're doing for men, right? This advocacy that we're doing for the emotional intelligence of men and relationships. And we need y'all input because it's who y'all it is y'all that we are dating.
Yes. And with that said too, we got to get hype. We got to get you guys, every one of you guys that comes in here, that comments all the time, that always, dedicated watching us. Get on your social media and just hit those share buttons.
Mhm.
Hit those share buttons. We want to get these numbers up, man, because we've been doing this for a minute, and I really feel like there's more people that should actually really get some of this experience that we've been putting out there for you guys. You know what I'm saying? The topics that we've been talking about that are real down to earth topics or whatever, and not no fabricated BS or whatever that you see out there. You know what I'm saying? As you just witnessed, the things we talked about with Fat Boy is something that he's been through.
These are
these are authentic situations or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And most people gravitate towards that better than all the false, narratives of what a relationship should be and what it should be like and all that type of stuff or whatever. And they haven't been through it.
No.
We giving you something that we've been through. We give you something that, for instance, our co-host Black Lift will be back next week as well. That's going to,
marriage
his experience, of course, in marriage. I mean, we got the whole enchilada.
Divorce
We got it all for you. We got it all for you.
We got
So we're coming back every Thursday at 6 p.m. 6:05 maybe sometimes. But anyway, 6 p.m. And tell a friend. You know what I'm saying? Tell a friend to tell a friend. That's what's up. What you got anything else before we get out of here, bro?
That's it, man. I love y'all, man. I appreciate every one of y'all for tapping in. I know it's more of y'all. It always is. And we back, man. Tell a friend to tell a friend, like Black Lips. Since he ain't here, I gotta say it. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend that we here. We back, man. And Black Lift will be back with us next week, man. And we miss you too, Black Lift.
Yes, sir.
Love to the family, man. Love to the wife.
Yes.
Gotta shout you out for sure.
Absolutely.
But man, we miss y'all, man. I love y'all, man. And we back at this thing, man. Fat Boy in the building. And I might be going to G Wells, y'all, because I ain't. But
You want to change? You want to switch over?
Fat Boy is just my name.
G Wells. I mean, yeah.
It's just my name, so I might just stay with Fat Boy.
Stay with it. Stay with it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but G Wells is cool too.
G Wells, Fat Boy is like my moniker.
Right.
It's like my name.
You know that, right?
It is my name. No, for real.
That's what's up. All right, man. I think that's going to do it for us. Thanks, Gussie, for coming in, tapping
Thank
in.
you, Gussie,
we love
Gus.
you too. We appreciate you, Nick.
Thank you, sis.
Denise, I seen you in the house.
Thank
There's
you,
a lot of you
Denise.
guys I didn't see in the comments today. I know y'all not used to us being here at 6 o'clock, but that's going to be the new
That's our
time,
new
6
time.
p.m. All right.
We do this thing.
Yeah, so when you get off of work, you know what I'm saying, just tap in. Tap in. So that's what's up. All right, man. That's going to do it for us tonight, man.
And remember, if
If
they talk about you behind your back, they behind you for a reason. Peace.
Just forget the parade and all the reasons start to fade.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Reasons, the show where you can give your reasons why you think what you feel about what we're talking about today. We should know this, man. We say no.
Dear brother, how do y'all deal with erectile dysfunction when you're in a relationship?
I wouldn't know how to do it unless I had it. And remember, if they're talking about you behind your back, they behind you for a reason. Peace.